with me. Okay. When I was in middle school, I remember everybody telling me to avoid Mr. Risk's class because he is so mean and they're hard. Let me tell you, they're not wrong. I remember my freshman year, my friends and I were gathered in the hallway about to go to our first high school classes. I was so nervous because my first block was Mr. Risk's class. I left my friends and walked into my first block, and 2 seconds later, I walked back out crying. I ran to my friends telling them that I was the only freshman in a class full of seniors, and to top things off, it was Mr. Risk's class. I was so nervous for this class, but it ended up being one of my favorites. The way that Mr. Risk challenges you and teaches you to keep yourself afloat is something that I'll forever be grateful for. His sarcasm and mine just work so well together. I tell people how awesome he is, even if he wants people to believe that he is mean. He is actually the one that taught me how to use a calculator correctly for the first time. He taught me so much more than just science and a little bit of math. His style of teaching makes you learn to be independent, which is something that I will take with me to college and so on. There are so many great teachers in our school, and they don't just teach us basics like math, English, and science. They teach us many great life lessons that we will use throughout our future. I have found many friends in many of my high school teachers. They will never let you go alone. You will always have someone to talk to or rant to when you need it. That being said, I should also apologize to Ms. Bookman for how many times I've come into her office so overwhelmed and I just let it all spill out. She has been the reason that I've gotten through the past couple of months with all the stress that I deal with, whether it be with college, schoolwork, my senior project, my job, or my senior portfolio. She was always there to talk me down when I get way in over my head. Federal Hawking has opened so many opportunities for me, whether it be through sports or academics. Being able to keep myself busy in sports and it kind of being a way to escape my home life and school life. And just the memories you make with your team and it kind of being a way just to escape from everything. The community that I have with my high school is something that I will hold dear to me forever. Our community being so small brings the opportunity for us to be closer. I will never forget the days when Tracy Klim sits down at the end of our lunch table and talks to us for 30 minutes about who knows what. I never thought that my high school janitor would become one of my best friends. When I look back at high school, I won't remember the stresses of work or the due dates that worry me. I remember the TikTok dances that me and Paige did with our favorite Miss Ripple and the relationship I had with her. She provided me with so many learning opportunities, whether it be through an internship or NHS. I remember straying off to Mr. Tabor's class to annoy him, and in return, him yelling at Paige and I to leave because we talked too much and were annoying. Then we would make our way down to the office to talk Miss Julie's head off, but in return, she would do the same. Okay. But on a serious note, Federal Hawking has taught me many skills to help me prepare for my future, like creativity, problem solving, and leadership, etc. For my first artifact, I have Mad City Money. We were given a packet and it kind of gave us like a fake scenario of like our job, our income, and things like that. It taught me problem solving because I was given a certain amount of money and I had to learn how to budget my money, spend it on on a house, on groceries, and I had to make sure that I had money left over to still do things. And it was really a learning opportunity because you got to look at your finances before you had to worry about them. Because I was little, I didn't have to worry about any of that. But it taught you how to prepare. Next slide. My other artifact that taught me analysis and critique was my college essay. For some of my college applications, I had to write an essay about why I wanted to go to college, why it was important to me, and some history about my life. It taught me analysis and critique because I had to go back and critique my work after I wrote it, because this is something that colleges were judging me off of. Critique, because I had to also look back at my life and critique my life. Why I wanted to go to college, how my life has challenged me but also pushed me towards going to college. And I just had to look back at my life to critique it, to write this essay. Next slide. I also learned growth and practice through my Slaughterhouse 5 test. For English 12, we had to read Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. We would read 2 chapters for homework, 2 or 3 chapters depending on how long they were, and then we would come back and take a test on them. My first test, I studied really hard and took the test. I ended up getting like a 45 out of 50, which was really good because there's not that many, so if you miss one, then it's like a lot of points. So I got really confident, and then my second test I took, I did very, very bad on. I think I got like a 20 out of 50. And that kind of put me in check, and I was like, okay, so I need to study more, I need to pay more attention to what I'm reading. And I ended up scoring well on my third test, and she gave us the opportunity to replace our worst test score. So I ended up doing well on all of my tests because I practiced and practiced until I did better. My next artifact, I learned teamwork, collaboration, performance, synthesis, and multidisciplinary through my internship at Butcher's Bites. Butcher's Bites is a meal prep business. At the beginning of the week, they get orders in for the meals that we prepare that week. I go in on a Monday, and I stay from like 12 to 4:30 preparing meals. They strive for fitness and overall health. I learned teamwork and collaboration because when meal prepping, it is a lot of teamwork because you're cooking with a lot of people and you have a lot of work to do, so you have to make sure that you work well together. I learned performance because this is an internship, and with any internship, you have to strive to impress. I have to show up on time, always be doing something, and just make sure that I do my best when I'm there. I also learned synthesis and multidisciplinary because I learned a lot about the meal prepping, the nutrition in the meals and stuff, fitness, nutrition, and that all, which teaches me synthesis because it puts all of the skills and formats into one experience or idea. My next one, I learned creativity, craftsmanship, quality, and polish through my CLE project. I was originally supposed to do a fall festival because that was a big interest of mine, planning and event planning and things. But due to COVID, I had to switch my my senior project, and that was a big challenge for me. So I ended up doing craft bags for the Little Lancers, and this taught me creativity because I had to take my one idea and switch it to a whole nother idea. And I also had to come up with 3 crafts for the little kids, and I'm not very experienced with little kids. I mean, I like kids, but I'm not very experienced with them, so that was a very big challenge for me. I worked long and hard on my project, and I ended up passing with honors. I showed craftsmanship, quality, and polish through perfecting the crafts. It took me many trials and errors, a lot of research too, and I had to make it look presentable because I was putting it in a Ziploc bag. But they ended up looking well, looking awesome, and it taught me a lot because it was a very big challenge. A big part of my life has always been sports. I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I wasn't so active in my after-school activities. I was active in cheerleading and played around in softball and track, but my main sport that had my heart was volleyball. Volleyball teaches you a lot. It teaches you teamwork, growth, practice, analysis, critique, communication, performance, and leadership. I learned teamwork because you're on a team. You have to work well with your team, and if you don't, then you're not going to get anywhere. Growth and practice because you start off learning one thing, and then you have to practice and practice to be able to step up to the next thing, and it's always just growing. There's never, right as you reach your bar, it's lifted, and you have to just keep practicing and practicing. And I learned analysis and critique because you have to critique yourself to be able to raise the bar. You have to know what you need to fix to be able to get better. Communication. There's a ball flying across the net. You have 6 people on the floor. You have to learn how to communicate with each other or you'll be running into each other left and right. I also learned leadership because I was a senior on the floor, and there was only 2 seniors this year. So we had to learn to be responsible for our team because there wasn't a lot of us. So we had to kind of kick it in gear and get ready. It was a bittersweet ending to my sports, but I am so grateful for the experience and the skills that I gained from them. High school provided me with a lot, but I didn't just take, I also gave back through doing things in my community. Overall, my high school and middle school years, I've collected 177 citizenship points. The point system is very helpful because it motivates us to do things in the community. The points give you a sense of accomplishment, but nothing compared to what doing services for other people will make you feel. I love doing things for other people because knowing that I help someone makes me feel like I can do anything. Whether it be through whether it be through helping someone in need or just waving at someone to make them smile. Knowing that you can do something to change someone's mood is such a good feeling. Helping with my community through working in school events like haunted halls, blood drives, toy drives, or things in my church community that aren't related to school, it helps me build my character and become a better person. Being able to give back and help with my community is such a blessing. I've done many things to earn points, like helping with school dances, working a lot of benefits, and helping with community services. This is a picture from my freshman year community service day. This has all prepared me for the next chapter of my life. After completing all 4 years of high school in June, I plan on furthering my education out of college. I applied to many different universities, including the University of Findlay, the University of Dayton, Xavier University, Ohio University, and Hawking College. I got accepted to all of the colleges that I put in for. I was going to attend the University of Findlay and live on campus, but with a variety of different factors to consider, especially expense, that was not the most beneficial choice. I now plan to go to Hawking College to achieve my general science classes and then transfer to a university to pursue an unknown STEM major. I will commute from home. By doing this and attending my generals at Hawking College, I will save myself a lot of stress and a lot of money. I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to figure out some of my interests to help me guide into selecting my major. A lot of the experience that my internship in high school have brought me, I am extremely grateful for. I'm thinking that business or marketing or business could be an interest of mine, but at the same time, fitness and nutrition is also appealing to me. It'll be a journey, but Federal Hawking has helped me get to the place that I am today. With everything that has been said, I would like to end with the fact that yes, high school does go fast. No matter how bad you wanted it to come when you were younger, and no matter how bad you wanted to slow down now that it's here. Like everything else coming to an end, it is a bittersweet moment, but I wouldn't trade my journey for anything. Thank you to all the teachers in the Lansing community for the best 14 years of my life.